Hello and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World with me, Hashim Kumar. The United States on Monday announced nearly $6 billion in additional military and budget assistance for Ukraine as President Joe Biden uses his final weeks in office to surge aid to Kyiv before stepping down. The Kremlin has also reiterated its objectives for the war in Ukraine in moves that could dent President-elect Donald Trump's stated goal of ending the conflict at the start of his presidency. So what happens next? Well, to share his analysis, we're delighted to welcome Oleksiy Goncharenko, Ukrainian Member of Parliament and a regular contributor. Oleksiy, welcome back to TVP World. Thanks for taking the time.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you back. So tell us, Oleksiy. I mean, are we particularly surprised by Putin's response to the suggestions from the Trump team for a ceasefire, particularly having European troops as peacekeepers and also suspending Ukrainian membership of NATO by 20 years? And they've said absolutely not. Are we surprised by this response?
No, absolutely not. From the beginning, I was telling that Russia doesn't want any peace. They don't want peace. They are going to live in the war as long as they will exist, this empire. And they want to attack. Ukraine is just the first stop for them. Next are European countries, Baltic states, Poland, other countries. Also in other geographical theaters, Kazakhstan, Georgia, and so on. So they're not going to stop. Secondly, they will definitely try to raise their demands before the elections will start. So that's something we should be absolutely sure about, and that is absolutely clear.
Okay, so I mean, as you say, you've been, you and many in the region have said exactly that. Yes, they have no intention of stopping. Their goal is basically expansion of the Russian Empire. Is the rest of the world finally, after 3 years of full-scale war, finally waking up to this, in your opinion?
Unfortunately, still, I think many are not understanding the real intentions of Putin and Russia. And that is a huge, huge problem. And we see it in Germany, we see it in other Western European countries. Unfortunately, we see it now in the United States. And I hope that now new administration of Donald Trump will also realize who Putin is in reality. That's what I hope they will do. And after this, they will have a real right course to tackle the issue. And they will understand that they can't coexist with this crazy empire.
Right. OK. Now, let's talk about the United States and President-elect Trump. He was sounding quite optimistic about getting some kind of peace deal going. He's not getting the right response from Putin or Lavrov. How do you think he's going to respond? Is he also going to start playing hardball, hard negotiations?
I think so, and I hope so. I think Donald Trump will realize that Putin doesn't want any peace. And because Donald Trump promised to make peace, I think he will become much tougher to Russia. That's what I hope will happen. I don't know, we will see, but that's what I think will be the right thing to happen. And Trump will realize that he can only make Putin to peace, so push him, leverage him, and it can be done only through strength. So it means more weapons to Ukraine, more sanctions against Russia. Only after this, Putin will realize that he doesn't have any other choice than to go to negotiations.
Right. OK. Now, tell me how things are within Ukraine in terms of public opinion, Oleksiy. Recent polls have suggested that more and more Ukrainians are willing to give up land for peace. Have you noticed that?
We can't say give up land for peace, because Ukrainians are not going to formally accept, never formally accept, that part of our territories which are occupied by Russians are de jure Russians. That we will never make, and that's impossible. But many Ukrainians, that's true, according to the polls, want peace as soon as possible. And for these, they can agree for some kind of stopping of hostilities. But again, that doesn't mean that Ukraine is gonna accept juridically that these territories are Russians. I want to remind you that even after more than 40 years, the West was not recognizing Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia being occupied by Russia. And after Soviet Union collapsed, they just restored their independence, not established it. And the world restored international relationships with them. So I think something like this can happen. I hope that it will not take decades to completely restore Ukrainian territorial integrity. I hope it will be much quicker, because I think this Russian empire will fall apart as well as the previous ones, the previous iterations did.
Right. Okay, now, President Zelensky has recently indicated that full NATO membership may be something that he is prepared to compromise on, but he does want security guarantees, which are clarified in writing by participating countries. Any comments on that?
Yeah, security guarantees are the key, because we want real peace. We don't want ceasefire. And as we all know, Putin doesn't want real peace. He wants ceasefire, but we want opposite. So to make it a real peace, we need security guarantees. And the best is membership in NATO. If not, some kind of agreement with the United States, close to what the United States has with Japan or South Korea. Also, foreign military forces, boots on the ground, can also be one of the guarantees.
Right. Well, Ukraine's had bad experience with security guarantees, has it not? Countries, US and Russia, have both agreed in the past to provide security guarantees for Ukraine, and have not really lived up to that, to put it mildly. What would be different this time?
That's the difference. Should be that it should be a real guarantee, not just a piece of paper.
What does that mean?
For the Budapest memorandum, as I told you, membership in NATO the best option. Second is a treaty with the United States, but a full treaty ratified in the Congress. That is the big difference with what was signed in Budapest in 1994.
Yeah. So the point I'm really trying to get to, Oleksiy, is President Zelensky saying, look, we want foreign troops on Ukrainian land providing some kind of security guarantee? Yeah,
that's also one of possibilities.
Okay. All right. Now, in terms of military support, financial support that has been coming from the US and, of course, many European countries, not least of which is Poland. I know that there have been concerns with the change in presidency in the US. What do you expect to happen? I know it's very difficult to predict what President-elect Trump might do, but what is the general feeling in the Ukrainian government?
We really don't know, but we hope, as we spoke with you, that Trump will realize that only strength can provide peace. So in this case, we want to see more weaponry supply. We want to see no restrictions on using of American weaponry. We want to see more sanctions against Russia, and so on and so on. So there is a big demands and hopes. Also, we hope, as Trump said, that he will drill, that he will drop the oil prices in the world. And the oil price is the main source of Russian war chest. So it can have a very significant impact.
Right. Okay. Now, President Zelensky met with President-elect Trump quite recently. Do we know anything about what came of that meeting? Ah, unfortunately, we seem to have lost Oleksiy's link. Might be a problem with in Ukraine. We'll just give it a minute, see if we can get him back. But in the meanwhile, as we heard, basically, security guarantees are a requirement. Continued military aid from the US and Europe are fundamental to Ukraine's security. And it looks as though neither Putin nor Lavrov are really interested in any form of negotiation. According to Oleksiy Goncharenko, they're looking for ceasefire, not peace. Unfortunately, we're going to have to end it there, but that was Oleksiy Goncharenko, a Ukrainian member of parliament. That's all from us in this episode of World Talks. Goodbye.